the sirens are going off. Another rocket attack. I've got my boots and got my ammo in my 50-pound sack. Boys headed to war in this world unknown. The only peace of mind I've got are these letters from home. Another day attack. I've tried to talk and tell you about it, but it ain't the same. All these thoughts that run through my head, well, they can't be tamed. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here in Kandahar. Another day has come and gone. Another night I'm all alone. I didn't think I'd be this far out here. We ain't far from Kandahar.
If that's really a thing, and I get authorized to do it once, it's pretty much gonna be me sitting there talking shit, like, constantly.
I am here determined to stop this future atrocity.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe. I suggest we use it.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shots.
Okay. Oh man, we're back. The second part of Sarge time. Sorry about the drop off on Facebook. Just people were just, I don't know, just shit was happening. Things were going on. Parties were going. Shots were being taken. Parties were being had. But yeah, we're back.
Lord of mercy.
Oh man, thank you.
I needed a drink. I did.
Oh man, that was freaking classic. Roy, just want to give a shout out real quick to Gabby. Thank you so much again, Chica, for calling back. Me and her served for a little bit together, so it's awesome to hear her perspective and all that. It was pretty cool. Also answers a lot of questions and gave a lot of clarity on what was right to say or what was good or bad, whatever, what have you. So you guys can track us on are we still? No, we're only on WTF Nation Radio tonight. Who cares? But yeah, I think it was this. I think it was I don't know if it was Zuck. See, that's the thing. I don't know if Zuck hit it because Zuck lately has had some pretty crazy issues on Facebook. You notice there's not been any. Like fact checking things anymore.
Yeah, where did those go?
You notice there's no like this could be a fact check. You notice there's not that anymore. That's kind of crazy. We don't have that. I've not seen it at all. But yeah. Anyways, thank you for attending. If you already took off and whatever, hey, don't worry, you can download the podcast on Apple Podcasts or Google Play, and you'll be able to listen to the shooting the shit unedited and all that. I never edit my podcast; they just go up unless there's like dead sound or something, or there's a glitch. All raw, all unedited podcasts. Everyone else,
he doesn't edit out me swallowing water, or eating
snacks
or anything else.
No,
you get to hear it all.
You get to hear it all, full frontal, unedited. But anyways, hey, so go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I was gonna say the did you hear about DC? They're talking about leaving the guard there. Did you hear about that shit? Did you hear about the guard more than likely? The National Guard might end up staying in DC due to the fact that they're afraid that there's going to be some more drama for fucking what's happening up there. I guess the impeachment stuff that's happening, and I'm thinking this purely. I'm not talking about on the political side of the house. I'm just talking about the National Guard deployment to DC specifically. They're talking about making it like the green zone in Iraq. Did you hear about that shit?
I heard some whisperings about that, and my only real issue with that is these are National Guard soldiers that like they have lives and jobs. If they're gonna do that, I mean, you can't just keep all these National Guard guys activated indefinitely. I mean, I guess you could, but I'm like, they have jobs, they have lives, they're there for emergencies, but it's not going to be an emergency forever.
Right.
Like,
at what point do we stop the I mean, how do I say this? Do we realize that maybe the cops needed to have better backup to do this? You don't need the fucking guard for this stuff. I mean, it's to the point to where now, to the Capitol is now looking like the green zone in Iraq. There's T-walls being set up. There's permanent fencing to be set up. They're talking about permanent fencing. At what point do we sit there and say, hey, what the hell's going on? Why is this? Why can't you police up this shit?
No, exactly. I mean, that should be the Capitol Police's jobs or the DC Police. It shouldn't be the National Guard indefinitely. But they, I guess, let's just think this. They got to have some kind of exit strategy, but we know how well we do those. Like, we're still over in fucking Korea, from 1950.
We're gonna have an exit strategy.
Talk about Infinity War.
This is the new Infinity War.
We don't know how to pull out.
We don't. We definitely don't know how to pull out. Oh man.
So I'm sorry, all you National Guard guys who have like high-paying lawyer jobs or whatever. You're now an E5 forever. You're sergeant.
Exactly.
You're sergeant police guard.
You're sergeant. And that's the thing too. What's their mission going to be? Are they just going to patrol the stuff like that? I don't know. I don't think the National Guard should be used for that capacity, guarding everyone. For a minute there was some drama about what happened with them sleeping in garages, which I'll be honest with you, there were plenty of times where I would have loved if I've slept in a fucking nice, clean, pavement.
Right? No, I have slept on little T-walls because that was the cleanest and driest place.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I can balance on one of those and go to sleep.
Anybody can balance on anything like that.
Yeah. I would have loved to have been in a garage.
And Gary said that
loved it.
They're true. Everyone is scared because their jobs are on the line. Which that's true too as well. I think it's kind of funny that when the realization from members of Congress are saying, "Oh shit, the peasants are here. The peasants can do this." I don't want to just sound dismissive to what happened on January 6th, but but
not at all.
But the thing is that now they're like Gary said, they're being genuinely scared. Like, oh fuck, this really can't happen. It could come up, now people can really affect and do what happened in the Capitol. Say what you want to say about who incited or who didn't incite it. I'm not going to go back and forth about that, but do we think that we should have listened enough or not listen to QAnon and shit? Like, I know you can't say, can you say QAnon on air anymore without somebody going nuts or something like that?
We're probably going to get
zucked again. Thank you.
Like we were just talking about motherfucking ponytails, y'all.
I know. We were just talking about patches, about guys who can't fucking grow beards, and here you're gonna.
Yeah, that was it. It was a neck beard.
It was a neck. That's what it was. It was the Ashley crowd. Actually, I can grow a beard. This is that. You're just jealous. No, you're right. I don't think having the guard there longer than normal. That's it. Okay. If you're gonna have extra security. You always hear about the police departments having to flex a little bit more other departments to do that. Or maybe, I think that nobody expected veterans to go after the cops like they said they supported the Blue Line as they did in the riot. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean, if something is coming up again, like January 6th was no, like, real big surprise. I mean, it is, like, what actually happened, but you knew there was going to be bigger than normal crowds. You knew this. So if you think that something like that is going to happen again, reactivate them or call those guys down at Bragg. They like to do things, and they can get up there in like 5 minutes. Like they could probably get ready to go a lot quicker than the National Guard can reactivate. I don't know. But I'm like, hey, you guys can just like do your parachutes and just go right into DC and take care of.
Oh, you're talking about
let the guard go home.
Let the guard go home and then just jump the
call somebody in
and just jump the 82nd. Just jump the 82nd on there.
They can drive up there. It's okay. They don't need a job.
They don't.
They can be like they can be like the peasants. They can drive. But I mean, they're right there, and you gotta say like it would literally probably only take less than 24 hours to get a unit from Bragg up there guarding some T-walls, than it would to get the National Guard back reactivated. Unless I think it would send in advance.
I think it would send a better message. I think it would send a message that we're not fucking around.
That
if you send up the 82nd, have them just
and I bet not
parachute
one of them would bitch about sleeping in the garage.
Yeah, no. As a matter of fact, they'll be happy as hell.
Oh man, you only got one plug. That's okay. We brought a fucking generator. We're good.
Exactly. 18 hours wheels up is the standard for the 18th Airborne Corps anyway. So they're
exactly. And you're only going right up the street.
Right. Really. All you have to do is jump in a C-17 and freaking that was it. See it. Yeah. And then there you go. Yeah. Just send up a brigade up there, and you'll be set.
No, but I don't think it's smart to keep the National Guard there forever.
Yeah.
Or for an indefinite amount of time.
No.
That's not. For one, it's gonna pretty shoot their morale. Like that's not what they signed up for. I mean, they did, but you're not gonna keep them in. if that's what they're doing, is sitting there and guarding the Capitol. They're like, no, I got a real job I can go back to. I don't need to do this. They're going to finish their time. I know I would. Like, if this is you get bullshit. You got me sitting here fucking guarding the goddamn Capitol next to the Capitol Police. This is their job. I want to go back to being a plastic surgeon or whatever it is that I did. So yeah, fuck that. They need to have a plan that's better than, call them up for an emergency. Like, if you know.
Yeah, Garrett.
Like you would have known.
Tina and Gary were saying that would be a scary thought just to see a couple of C-17s just like on the National Mall. Just mass attack on freaking on the National Mall and that right there from the Washington Monument all the way down. It could be done. I mean, you just drop down 800 feet and you'd be good to go, and they all you just see them all just piling in like that. I think neckbeards and freaking vet bros would fucking go nuts if they saw some shit like that. I think it would stop everything if you saw the 82nd just jumping in there and then starting to rally things up. That's the fuck around and find out part. You don't want to fuck around and find out when it comes to that stuff. Exactly that. Tina says it seems like a slippery slope to martial law. Having the T-barriers up in the gates already seems like that to me.
Yes. I'm like, it's looking like I'm trying to get onto Doha, even in Kuwait. I'm like going through all those T walls and stuff just to get to the gate. Yeah. So I don't like what they're doing right now. I'm like, I get it. If they'd have done that like a day or two before January 6th, it would have made more sense, because you know why you're doing it, and it's not, and it really is just to protect the Capitol against what happened. Like, I don't think they thought, they knew something was going to happen, like big rally and stuff, but I don't think they thought, these people were going to storm the Capitol.
Right.
But
right, because they had that example that we obey the law, we're law and order, right. Blah blah blah. We would never do anything to hurt our fellow vets. Support the thin blue line, yada yada.
Yeah.
But that was just that perception. I think that right there is kind of it's like they're saying. I just don't like the fact that there's Jersey barriers up and they already got a fence up there, about. You know what I mean? And it looks like they're about ready to hold up a damn checkpoint to pay for admission. That's what it looks like. You're going to Disneyland or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're just like, freaking, I don't know.
So you're just like treating everybody in that area like a criminal now.
Right.
Like everybody's here to attack us.
Right.
And that's not what we're founded on.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. Well, real quick, I want to talk about right now, since the elephant in the fucking room.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's just rip the Band-Aid off.
Let's just rip the Band-Aid off. I got a story that right now currently is up, and it is the story of an Army chaplain is under investigation for calling transgender troops mentally unfit to serve. So I'll just say that right now, currently, the Department of Defense and the president has lifted the ban on transgender service members, and the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, has threw the letter out and said, "Hey, look, this is what's going to happen." All four service chiefs back in the day said, they saw no negative impact from 2018 of transgender troops serving in the U.S. military, which is the largest employer of transgender people in America. Anyways. So President Biden had already signed an executive order, and then of course ending the DoD policy, and it barred people with gender dysphoria diagnosis from joining the military unless they had not begun treatments or transition to a gender and had not been stable in their biological sex for 36 months. So this chaplain says, "Yeah, whatever." We're gonna drop off fucking Facebook.
We probably are.
We're gonna kick off Facebook.
Fuck this chaplain. I'll tell you.
Go ahead. Give me your reason.
There is nothing wrong with transgender troops. Can you shoot a weapon? Can you kill someone that's coming after me? Fine, serve. Can you put your ponytail up right? And make sure your nail polished if you're a female. Hey, if you can do all that, fine.
Right.
But this chaplain is bringing his religious beliefs into it. We don't get to do that. I don't know. You probably remember when they first allowed you to be openly gay and recognizing gay marriage. Everybody's like, "Oh, rabble, how are we ever going to survive?" Like, we've been just fucking fine. It's like just fine. Excuse me. And it's going to be the same here. It's like, I think, again, the people that came up with all of these rules, like, Chaplain fucking so and so, thinks that their beliefs should apply to everybody, and they don't. Like, like it's not a mental illness. Does it make them crazy? We have all sorts of fucking mentally ill people in the army, not just transgender people.
That's
I'm fucking batshit crazy. Y'all should be more worried about me than
that's a good point.
Somebody that is transgender. I'm the batshit crazy. I will fucking stab you.
You are, yeah. You. I have had to talk you back from pretty petty town stuff. You need me. I have had conversations with you, and you would say, "Do you want me to shank?" Has come out immediately like, no. I'm just telling you.
These hands.
Exactly.
They're ready to go at any time.
I have to parse my
I don't
words.
Hear about people being mentally ill. Can you function as a fucking soldier and do your job? Can you shoot? Oh, can you get a 300 PT test? Oh, you're fucking in now.
If you can run, exactly.
Can you run? Fuck, you're good. Good. Army to the army now.
So sorry.
Don't grow a beard though.
Yeah, no beard. My biggest thing is that and this was just from task and purpose. Actually, this happened like the last 24 hours. Once it came out, and it was hit in a Facebook group, and it was the chaplain of the 3rd SFAB, Security Forces Assistant Brigade. As soon as this thing came out and all this thing, our inbox was, I had notable influencers hit my inbox with this, and they're like, Ken, blah 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 blah. What's up with this? Are you guys going to cover this? Has this been covered and all that? And I'm thinking, it looks like somebody else already got it. And that's when actually a journalist had already covered it, and then I'm just like passed it along. So I passed along the right people, and they got the information. Active duty chaplain joined the Army in 2009 responded on Facebook to a post in Army Times about Joe Biden's reversal of the Trump administration's ban on transgender service members, saying that transgender troops are a med board for mental wellness waiting to happen. Quote, Howe is rejecting reality and not evidence that a person is mentally unfit, and thus making that person unqualified to serve, unquote. And so he is really like throwing the information out. One of the main page admins was engaging with somebody on our page about a transgender service when one of our staff members posted it, and they were like saying, "Well, you gotta have a mental." But you bring up a good point. We've had mental waivers coming in the Army already.
Yes.
We had back. Everyone. Nobody likes to admit this. Remember we talked about. You said that you were talking about the surge kids, the kids that came in during the surge.
Yes.
Then all those waivers that could come in for mental behavior health issues like that. This whole thing that everyone's going back to. Yeah, exactly. It wants to go back. I don't like that whataboutism bullshit. That really is nothing to where fucking a chaplain should be. And here's another thing going back on chaplains. Do chaplains do enough? There's been talk about what role a chaplain should have. Should they just be in charge of the church? You should be.
I mean,
is that like their headquarters? It should be like the chaplain church or something like that. At what level do the chaplains provide that type of behavioral health or counseling services aside from them just doing that? I know some chaplains myself that they don't care about. I mean, they really don't care about this. I mean, when I talk to them about it.
Well, that's just it. They're not going to be allowed to care as a soldier. Just like, like you're not allowed, like, do your fucking job. Like, I'm sure this transgender troops are not going to come to you for advice. They'll go to someone like, with a degree if they need something.
Yeah, if there's somebody.
Not in ministry services or whatever.
I kind of.
Degree in.
No, I'm going to continue his comments, though. He said, quote, "There's little difference in this than those over who believe and argue that for flat earth, despite the overwhelming evidence to the contrary," unquote.
He really went there.
He did. He did. I mean,
I think that's what the problem is right there. Like I can understand, like, if you're religious and it goes against something in your faith, for you not to be okay with it. All right, I can grasp that, but to belittle them and say that, oh, they're the same as fucking flat earthers. I'm like, that's where I think he really crossed the line. He should have just kept all the shit to himself.
Well, and that's another thing too. A lot of it, when it comes, you're right. There's a lot of things where there's no place for that shit. It is a place to just keep your fucking mouth shut. A lot of things that we have in the military that we have a discussion on, or that is poignant, their policies are written in there for a reason. Literally, like Gabby said, we literally have to fucking spell it out for you, so that way individuals know why it's not being done. Or why it's being said, or why we can't say this, or why we can't say that. There's nothing wrong.
And it also goes back to what she said. That is like, okay, so what is it taken away from you? How does this hurt you?
Right.
Like, like you had another soldier now. You've been bitching about, not having enough people and this, that, or whatever. Now you have more. So
right. Now there were some individuals they were hitting the page saying that, oh, this is going to happen. Well, first off, are you still in the Army? No. Or were you ever in the military? Yeah. What did you get put out? Because then I start really looking at some of the comments that I've seen people say, and like you were saying, these are the ones that are freaking, the neckbeards that only serve for not even a fucking year, that got boarded out or something like that after AIT, or you know what I mean, just little shit like that.
Yeah.
And a lot of you guys and gals don't realize there's transgender service members that have been serving right in front of you, and
yes.
And you didn't even know it. Some of them you looked up to, or you still look up to. Didn't even tell you. Didn't even fucking you wouldn't even know.
Like when we talked about this a couple years ago, I told you my only thing that I couldn't wrap my head around would be your analysis. That was the only thing. And I mean, that's an easy fix. Like if, they come up on a list, I mean, you can go to the medics, and then it's like just like, I have someone that's giving me a pap smear that I sit in command and staff with, so.
Right. I mean,
that's the only thing I couldn't wrap my head around at first. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, but there's a fix for that.
Well, my biggest thing is when it comes to stuff like that comes on how things are administered or how things are done. It's nobody's fucking business anyways. I mean, it's not, in other words, it's not, I were to have a woman soldier and another soldier, I'm not supposed to care about your fucking appointments that have to do with something like that, or have to care about something that procedure, like a urinalysis thing would be, all right, need another woman to observe, and they go do that, and that's it. It's not your place, nor is it my place to wonder if that's the way it is. If that makes sense. I mean, I don't.
No, it does. It's just like I said, that was the only thing, like when this first came up years ago, that I was trying to wrap my head around. And maybe it was because I was a UPL and I have been like the only female NCO, and you have to go find someone to observe me, so, from a different unit, like go down the hall and find a female NCO. So that's kind of where I guess I was coming from it with. So, but I mean, it's a fixable problem and it's not hard to fix. So that was the only, like I said, obstacle I could see with, treating a transgender soldier just like you would any other soldier. To begin with.
Yeah. I mean, that was the whole thing to begin with. And that point, it should not be that way anyways. Again, there's some of you out there that are currently serving in the military that are probably in charge of a transgender soldier, or probably or being supervised by one, and you probably don't even know it. Probably don't even know it.
Yeah.
And they can probably,
it doesn't matter.
And again, because and they probably out shooting your ass. They're probably out jumping, rucking. They're probably, at that point, whatever, man. Who cares? I'll be honest with you. If we're keeping somebody back from serving their fucking country, that's a fucking problem. Now, obviously, there are some things, if they're able to be physically able to conduct the mission and do their job within their MOS and what they're supposed to be doing, it should not be a fucking issue whatsoever. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I fucking feel about it either.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter what even any of us do. The Joint Chiefs said yes. Now the president did too. So you're just going to have to get over your whatever phobia it is, whatever it bothers you. And
I don't want to kill off all the chaplains when I say this, but I'm just saying, do we think that?
My point either.
Yeah, I shouldn't say kill off all the chaplains. Man, everybody's gonna be like, oh, Facebook is going to suck you again. Yeah, yeah. But I'm saying is, do chaplains need to be just their roles are supposed to be different. Like I was saying, it was they're in charge of the church. That's their place of duty as the church and stuff like that. You go and conduct your religious practices to your specific deity, and chaplains of specific denominations should be doing their deity stuff. But when it comes to counseling, when it comes to stuff like that, I always feel like when it comes to behavioral health, just like when it comes to a lot of innovative stuff that the Army does, we just seem to jack it up. We just don't do it right. We do. I don't know. It just seems like the behavioral health system. If you really need to talk to somebody, and you really need to talk to a shrink, or you need to talk to a therapist, it shouldn't be a chaplain.
No, and I think there might be some soldiers, because of their beliefs, that they would want to talk to a chaplain before they would a therapist. And I think as long as the chaplains know, like, hey, this is getting beyond someone that just needs to vent or just needs some spiritual advice, they really need to go see, an MD or psychiatrist or a therapist. As long as the chaplains can recognize that. Because, me and you will have soldiers come and talk to us, or, just need to vent, and because they have a bunch of shit going on. But maybe they don't, they would rather just vent to us, and they don't want to go to behavioral health. But we as NCOs and know our soldiers, we would know when it was, okay, this is above my level of being able to counsel, not counseling, isn't a 4056, but being able to, use my life and NCO experience to help you get through this stressful time. You really need to go see someone. And I think as long as the chaplains are doing that, then let soldiers go and, talk to them. There might, like I said, that might be their beliefs is the same as the chaplains, and that might be what they need just to vent and help.
Right.
So as long as they know the line, like, hey, this is a little too much, send them to someone that this is their job.
I don't want freaking, all of a sudden the audience go, oh, ICE has the thing again. He's gonna, he thinks we should, just
cancel chaplains.
Cancel chaplains. I'm not gonna cancel chaplains.
No, that's not it at all.
No, I just think that
I have loved all my chaplains.
Yeah,
they always have the best snacks.
I know all the chaplains that I've had that I served with weren't bad at all. I mean, were pushy. They weren't. I would say something that you would think would not be you'd normally say the chaplain got back from Iraq one time, and the chaplain was like, hey, what are you guys gonna do? You guys gonna do this? Blah 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 blah. And she asked me, hey, just you got to be sure you do things that you're just not gonna go out of venting and frustration, and you really want to make sure that you want to keep things in check, blah blah blah. And it's like, what are you gonna do when you one of my soldiers is like, I'm gonna do this. What are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna do this. And they get to me and like, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm going to fucking Vegas. And the chaplain's like, okay. Hopefully that you're not gonna, I'm like, no. It's just gonna go hang out. and because I did have some family at the time that stayed around, no shit, Las Vegas proper. So it was easy for me to go visit and all that, and then they would go hanging around in Nevada, but I was just like, I'm going to Vegas, but it made it sound like I was gonna go freaking party and drop a couple K at a freaking at a casino, and then go to the Palomino or something like that, and go hang out and do some debauchery.
I mean, nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with debauchery. No, of course not.
Any chaplain thinks that we don't have debauchery going on.
No, of course not.
Really has a blindfold on.
Right. Yeah. Well, not only that, but they would probably tell you just as long as you do it in moderation, or you don't let it overtake you. That's what she said. She said as long as it's, hey, do what you need to do to get stressed out. Don't get yourself in trouble. Do it in moderation, whatever. She was obviously leading into the fact that, all right, dumb shit. She was probably thinking, oh boy, this guy's gonna, woo. But no, I just don't want everybody to think that I want to get rid of chaplains. I just think that chaplains should be, I think when it comes to behavioral health or counselors, I think soldiers I think the religion thing kind of gets them a little, I don't know. Exactly that, Gary. It's your job as an NCO to point me in the right direction. Whether it be freaking a chaplain to talk to or something like that. But there's some things I guess, I don't know. It's hard. It'd be like going to confession or something like that to a Roman Catholic. If you're a Roman Catholic chaplain, or if you were Catholic, you know what I mean?
See, I don't know which ones do confession. I am like,
I wouldn't know what to do. I was like, forgive me, chaplain, I think I sent type thing,
Right.
And then to be like, oh, okay, so you want to do it that way. Then I say, I do whatever, and they're like, Yeah, you you definitely did not talk to me. Okay. No, I'm just curious. It just the whole thing that came up about it. Again, like the chaplain shouldn't have said that. At this point, he's getting his mouth in there that he shouldn't be, getting his mouth in there, and I'm just kind of like, okay, dude, really? And did you have to do it on an open Facebook page where everyone's going to see you? And the way things are now, receipts do come plenty.
Oh yes,
the receipts.
You can delete it, but it's there.
It's
Someone
there.
screenshot that the moment.
Someone, yeah. So I get receipts and screens from shit that I didn't think I'd ever hear or look at, and I'm like, God damn, where'd you get this from? Oh, it was deleted. How the hell you were awake to fucking? Were you like hovering over your freaking interwebs to see that shit? they're like, oh yeah, I saw this. Anyways, so yeah, there you go. We'll see how that story goes. The Army's opened up the investigation, obviously, and then we'll see what happens from there. But and obviously the Army is going to be putting out guidance. Obviously, we got the DoD side of the house being spoken. The way it works is going to be through the Department of Defense, and then it's going to be driven to the different services. The service is going to come with whatever. So just stay tuned on that. There you go. That's all I can say. I don't know any more or know any different. So, hi Alexa.
You caught her attention. Sorry, no, my daughter just texted me. I'm so sorry. I had to, I was like shutting my phone off.
Siri,
like, leave me alone. I'm busy.
Siri's like, Siri's like, oh, what are you talking about?
Yeah, she's like, do I need to let Zuck know about this?
Yeah, exactly. Hi, hi, Ice and Spanky. It appears that you're shit talking. I'm gonna go ahead and suck you. Zuck and A.
Right. Leave us alone.
Yeah. So the next story, the last story we're gonna talk about military news. This has to do with some Navy stuff.
Yeah, they're military guys.
They're Navy kids. They're another component of the U.S. services. A Navy destroyer was relieved for he was like trying to turn a AK-47 into a plaque for his ship. What's up with that?
I guess it's not allowed.
I guess
you can't be like
Navy be wildin', man.
Enemy weapons, and
right?
I
didn't think it was a big deal. I was like, oh, it's an enemy weapon, and he's captured it, and whatever. What's the it likes the short sell game stonks. That's right, Blair.
Right.
So if you look, I don't know. It just I don't see the big. I don't want to say this. I don't see it's like a war trophy type of thing, but it's like a war trophy. It's like if it's something you did on your mission, because you see the tanks, you see enemy tanks at Fort Benning. You see enemy air defense pieces over.
They're all in sorts of museums.
Yeah, in museums and stuff like that. You see it on Fort Hood, exactly. You see it on Fort Bliss. You see the missile stuff at Fort Bliss. You see, Space Force crap at Peterson Air Force Base. But you don't think that no one's going to get busted for it. So the USS Forrest Sherman was the commanding officer was relieved for trying to turn a captured AK-47 into a plaque for the entire ship, which. It's for the ship. It's not like he's taking it home. It's not like he was.
Right. It's like you'd be putting in a museum.
Right. Exactly. It'd be like a centerpiece. Exactly. When you see when you see somebody's office and they have, or you see a museum or a unit, something like that, you see captured enemy items or something like that. That's happened a couple years ago, I guess. It was a Forrest Sherman discovered advanced missile components and other weapons believed from Iran when it stopped a small boat for Yemen. And the unnamed official told Reuters that it was believed that the weapons were intended for arms sales Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in Yemen. So the commanding officer decided to have one of the AKs seized and demilitarize it and turn it into a plaque to be put on a ship, not as a personal trophy. So it was going to be like above, I don't know, like the mess hall or something like that. The turning weapon to the plaque is illegal. Everyone knows how to fucking do that, but he was not familiar with the DoD procedures on how to do it. So he's like, hey, I didn't give a shit. He just fucking did it. He's demilitarized it, put it up on a plaque, and there you go. It's for the ship. And he even told naval investigators, I don't care. I plan on using this for a plaque. Navy investigators asked him about his plans to turn their plaque. He's like, yeah, okay, I didn't hide it. I'm not hiding shit. It was a process. It was in progress, and the NCIS came and asked him about it. And because he didn't think he had done anything wrong, he cooperated and said, yeah, sure, that's exactly what we're doing. Here it is.
Like,
there you go.
I still don't really see the big deal.
I don't see the big deal. Here's a weapon that went turned into a plaque, and here it is. There you go. The NCIS asked for it, gave it to them, and they took it. And he was relieved shortly afterwards. And he was like, okay, well, he even said it. I didn't necessarily think it was right, but whatever. I just
so
think
he was relieved to a loss of confidence in his ability to command.
Because of
that's what it's. I'm like, oh. Okay.
Yeah, that's what the investigation said. Yeah, investigation is being conducted by the command and NCIS, and it would be inappropriate to discuss details upon completion of the investigation. He got fired. He got fired for putting a plaque. What's up with that?
They need help.
They
like that's all it takes to get someone fired now. Like, he literally didn't hide anything. He didn't think he did anything wrong. Like, I guess you know, not everybody. I guess you got to go talk to the JAG before you try to buy a plaque now or make a plaque.
You know, that's a good point.
I got some seashells off the store, so I better.
I got some seashells, sea shanties. I don't get. Yeah. I mean, there's some legality stuff in process or something like that. I guess he should have just talked to JAG and say, "Hey, look." But do you think the military kind of? Do you think the Navy kind of we're like a fucking buzzkill on this?
Oh, absolutely.
They're like, hey,
absolutely.
No, we can't. You keep.
And you just said, don't do that again. I mean, like
he'd have been counseled or something like that. The Navy don't fuck around when they kick people out. They
no, like literally, like it did not take like relieving a commander because of a plaque. Like unless it had to been somebody had something out for him. It's just got to be. You really just can't be that stupid, like or that just rah follow this rule, but. You know,
yeah, like Keith says, man, they're just trying to boost morale and got fired. I think that's been badass. It's like you're proud of your crew, you're proud of your ship that you were able to stop the Iranians from passing weapons to the rebels in Yemen, and you want to highlight that. And just look, like you said, you want to go ahead and
exactly, and then people that new soldiers, sailors that come on the ship later on will know. Oh, this is the ship that did this.
Right, exactly. As a centerpiece of history,
yeah. Selling it,
exactly,
on the black market.
He probably had some freaking snitches on there. He probably had some little Ashleys on there. Wow. And that goes to the point to, are we, in the military, is that something good order and discipline of something that we do when then we look at the whole museum and shit? That's what trips me out when someone says, well, that's good. He was a disruption of good order and discipline. He's supposed to set the example. Meanwhile, look at my tank museum.
Right.
Meanwhile,
that's what I would have said. Like, okay, if I would have like turned it into like the 3-Corps museum or whatever, it would have been cool. Yeah, I could have done it then. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, there's much bigger things I think that NCIS should probably be looking into other than a plaque on a ship. I'm sure I could find something. If they need help, let me know.
I was about to say, if there's some deets. I know we have friends we have friends at U.S. Navy WTF Moments, and they more than happy to give you some what do they call it? They call it scuttlebutt.
Give you some.
They give you some scuttlebutt.
Give you some work to do, some real work.
Yeah, give you some real work.
This captain or whatever his
this poor dude, man. He's like, all he was trying to do is something for the team.
He just wanted to be for the troops.
He just wanted to be for the troops. You must hate vets.
You must.
You must hate vets.
That NCIS guys, they hate us all.
Man. I know. I'm not going to watch that TV show anymore. Shut up, LL Cool J. I'm not watching your show anymore. You need to tell them to clear them. I'm sorry, I'm not messing with LL Cool J because we're broadcasting on Twitter too. Because the next ICE is calling.
Yes, we love you.
Yeah, we love you.
Love you.
Yeah, exactly. We actually use your rant music. We use your music for for flash rants. We actually use Mama Said Knock You Out. Anyways, so it's housekeeping time. Housekeeping time. It's time to break out the lemon pledge and let's go over our future scheduled episodes. We have tomorrow. We have Carl Whalen and Kayla Coletta. An Army veteran, Carl Whalen is a co-founder and president from Back the Heroes Rumble, and we'll be able to talk about what they do for veterans and service members, first responders. And then Back the Heroes Rumble is recognized in Ohio as a 501 Charlie, a non-profit corporation in support of law enforcement and first responders, firefighters, and military service members in every community. Their service covers the entire states of Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Kayla Coletta is the widow of Sergeant Joseph Coletta. I'm really butchering up this name. Am I saying it right? Am I that name just?
It sounds right to me.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
I'm sure they'll correct us.
They'll correct us. I know. We'll be joining Carl to share her story how Back to Heroes Rumble supported her during the loss of her husband who was killed in Afghanistan, Sergeant Joseph Coletta. And then Thursday, next Thursday? Is it? Are we? Wait, what sergeant's time? What sergeanting time is the 4th? On the 4th. Yes. On the 4th of February.
It's next Thursday.
Is it next Thursday? No,
it is.
Holy shit! It is next Thursday. So next Thursday.
It's going to be January's over. Yes.
Oh my God! That means January's over. Exactly that. 4 February. We're going to have Colonel Jeremy Mushter from the 8th Psychological Operations Group. Now, I know we're not trying to hog the market here, but we're saying he's going to come on and talk about his unit, his organization, and what PSYOP does, and obviously talk about some of his units that support the Information Warfare Center and the National Mission Force and Special Mission Units. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. The next show, though, the next Thursday. Ooh, next Thursday is the show. I want to start really ringing the bell on you guys on this information and questions for the USAREC Sergeant Major. He's going to be coming on 18 February. Command Sergeant Major John Foley, the Command Sergeant Major of USAREC. He's going to be on here to shoot the breeze about telling what the Army recruiting mission is about and how everyone can help be part of it, to include Soldiers for Life. So if you got any questions for the USAREC Sergeant Major, it's kind of a big deal for us because for a while, we tried to get USAREC to come on here, and they didn't want to come on here. I don't know why.
They just had to get a new Sergeant Major.
I guess that's what it was. A new Sergeant Major, new CG, and I guess. I don't know. But we're stoked. We're completely happy to have senior leaders, especially from USAREC. I already got some questions and stuff myself that I'm writing down and seeing because it has to do with Army recruitment, and the news lately, I think, will generate a lot of the feedback as well. But don't forget, we got a show 4 days a week. So we have today's Sergeant's Time. So tomorrow we have a Friday Night Freedom with Kaz and Pookie. Monday is the Monday edition with myself and Flash. Tuesday is a Pop Culture Warrior with CQ and Radar. Wednesday's a day off, and then back to Sergeant's Time. Every show is at 2000 EST, sort of kind of depending on what we got going on, or if we're drinking or laughing or what have you. And that's it. You can download us on Apple Podcasts after the podcast has been loaded up. You can listen to us on a bunch of different platforms except for Facebook, because Facebook keeps kicking us off. I don't know why. They just don't like us, I guess.
They just don't like us.
They just don't like us. But all the other platforms, you were listening to us uninterrupted. If you were listening on Periscope, YouTube went a little scrappy for a little bit, but all the other channels were up and broadcasting, and no issues with that. You got anything you got any final words? I think Gabby said her stuff best, so I got no words. Oh. I got no final.
I can't top Gabby tonight. This was all her tonight.
Yeah, this was her night.
Again, thanks Gabby.
Yeah, thanks Gabby. Totally appreciate it. So with that, y'all have a good night, and shots.
Hey, this is SEAC retired John Wayne Troxel. You're listening to WTF Nation Radio, the station of choice for all of the badass MFers on the planet.
The voice of U.S. Army, WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
up our intergalactic horse, and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. They say that they've discovered life up there on Mars, so let's blow it all to hell and then claim it for ours. We'll paint the moon red, white, and blue for no other reason than we wanted to. Oh, Jupiter, imagine what you could become. A stupid, pointless planet turned into a giant gun. And Russia, so sorry, have to burst your bubble. Be a good sport now, sit back, relax, and watch us through the bubble as we celebrate the greatness of the United Planets of America. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force. Now we'll go to infinity and beyond, beyond. You'll hear our manly voices singing Space Force strong. The critics say sound doesn't travel in space, to which we reply sound will do as we say. Oh, Captain Kirk, your achievements, though notable and fine, as far as we're concerned, this is Deep Space Mine. And big fans, but Lord Vader, step away from the lightsaber. There can only be one, of course. Space Force. Ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum, ra-da-da-da-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da, ra-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. Space Force, Space Force. We'll saddle up our intergalactic horse and we'll ride into the sun, yes, into the sun, where we'll take the day by planting a flag right there at its source. Space Force.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
please enjoy the show. Shout.